Hello, I'm Christopher Brannon with the Coeur d'Alene Public Library and the Cooperative Information Network, and this is another koha-US training video. With me is George Williams.
Hello, I'm George from the Northeast Kansas Library System in Lawrence, Kansas.
And today we are going to be working on an enhancement for the facets in Koha when you're doing searching. Before we get started here, I'm going to just remind everybody that you can find all of our videos that we've posted so far at koha-US.org. It's koha-US.org. If you go to the Learn from Koha US link, and you can pop right to the videos with our jump to link up at the top. Says Koha US videos, and everything that we have posted is in there. And this looks a little different because I added some descriptions so that it was a little bit more informative rather than just the links to the videos. So
it's spoilers. You've added spoilers.
Yes, I did. So yeah, 12 episodes. This is going to be 13 for us now. Uh-oh.
Very unlucky.
So as I said, we're going to be focusing on facets. We're getting away from SQL for a little bit, just to give everybody a break and something different to play with. You're going to find the code for this in the jQuery library. If you go to the wiki.koha-community.org/wiki/jQuery_library, you're going to search for search facets. It has been a long day. Enhanced search facets. I have this in the jQuery library. I have it for both the staff side and the OPAC. So there's going to be two different listings in here, but you'll find the code for this. And I just tested this on the demo site and just pasted it right in there, and it works right out of the box. So
I appreciate that you say it's been a long day, but if you look at the bottom corner of your screen, you can see it's only 9:16 a.m.
It's been a long day. Hey, long day for me. I'm ready to call it quits.
Yeah, but it's Monday at 9:15 and you're done.
So I've pasted this both into the intranet user.js. I put the staff code there, and then I have a slightly modified version of it that goes into the OPAC. And like I said, you'll find those both on the wiki. So just pasted those in there, saved them. And this is what it's going to end up looking like when you're done. You're going to have a nice, neat facet group over on the left. Let me go ahead and pull this particular one out real quick here and save that. And this is what you get out of the box with Koha. Looks something like this. And then if you have an established system with a lot more authors and titles and libraries, this is going to look very unruly. An actual production server has a lot more going on than this. So what I did was made some adjustments so this looks a little cleaner, looks a little bit more like something that you would see on the internet, and a little bit more user-friendly. It lets you know that things are going on. When you're using the facets out of the box, when you choose a facet, I'm clicking here on a production server that can take a little bit longer, and you wonder if when you click something, did it work? And then when you have the facet enabled, it isn't very clear as to the fact that a facet is enabled on here. It doesn't stand out very well. The only thing that you have is this little X at the end here.
Little teeny tiny X.
And it blends in with the text.
Yeah.
Plus, you know, I'm looking at absolutely everything else in the facets at the same time. I'm going to go back here, re-enable this. And I'm going to, let me just submit the search again so we'll start fresh. So now, if I go in here, it'll expand the section that I want. I have check boxes. If I select something, I get a little spinner telling me it's actually doing something. And then I have a checkbox that shows me what is actually active for facets. And I can also, check what I want. I can check it, uncheck it. Works really nice, works really smooth. And I have the same thing over on the OPAC side, although I'm going to go back and review the jQuery because, versions of Koha changed. And one thing that I'm noticing in this is that the carets that are next to the titles are not showing in the OPAC side. So that's something that I'll go back and try and fix in the library after our recording here. So let me just go over a few key elements with these changes. You'll also notice that I have on here the availability facet is missing. In the when I created this at the time, we were in 1911, and 1911 that particular facet didn't work right. Yeah, we were getting really hit and miss results with that facet. It wasn't really accurate. So
if one item was not available, it wouldn't show any items. That's all it took, was one unavailable item to hide all available. You couldn't have an item where you couldn't use the facets if one of the items was unavailable, even if it was like something like Junie B. Jones, where there's one copy checked out and 50 others checked in. It would show them, they would all disappear when you use the availability. Yeah,
exactly. So we have that. I have that in the code disabled. Libraries that use this code, if you want to re-enable that, all you have to do is remove that last line or remark it out and test it and see if it's working. As I said, this was 1911.6 that I had disabled it. So we're in 2005 right now, and I've turned it back on our library just so we can play with it and see how it's working these days. So I'm not going to go over every single aspect of this. I'm going to go over some key components in this, just simply because, I don't remember every single piece that I did, but I had to move some things around, and I had to add some labeling in order for me to get the basic structure in order to collapse things as I needed. There's some cleanup in here. I can see that I had to hunt for text that isn't wrapped, and I had to wrap it. So I wrapped different pieces in an H5 tag, so a header tag, and I trimmed a lot of white space. The Koha code is notorious for having a lot of extra white space in it, so I have removed extra white space in there. And here I'm doing some more wrapping on this line here. And here, this is where we're starting to look at each of those facets and change some of the information that's in there. I'm adding, looks like returning more H5 header wrappers in here, but down below this is where we're starting to add the elements. So I'm wrapping a switch, so it is reactive. So this is what's going to expand and contract those different categories.
Right.
And then the next line adds the caret, so the little pointer next to the category, and then I'm going to wrap it with a div that allows you to be able to toggle whether that is expanded or collapsed.
Right.
And this line is going to hide all those different groups. So they're all collapsed.
They're all collapsed when the page loads, and then
correct.
you toggle them open individually. It makes sense, yeah.
This line, let's see here, looks like I'm finding a list item. Oh, this one, if the category is only partially loaded, they'll show part of a list and not the whole list. I have removed the list item that says, more.
Show more.
I'm just showing it all
right
in there. So because this is collapsed, there's no reason to hide portions of the results on those facets. We can show all the facets.
Right, because out of the box, Koha will limit the number of facets to, I think it's like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So if you've got 10 facets if you've got 10 different, like, let's say topics, which are the subject headings, it'll only show the first like 5, and then it'll show a show more. And so you're just getting it so that since they're already collapsed, why bother to hide those last ones, right?
Exactly. So yeah. This removes that link to show more, and this line right here expands that so that all of the results for the facets are there. Now, keep in mind, these facets are still built off of the results of your search on the, I believe, off of the first page of results. So
it's a system preference.
Give you everything.
Yeah, it's a system preference that you tell Koha how many results to build the facets off of. I don't remember the name of the system preference, but you can tell it. If the default first page is 20 items, you can say just build it off the first 20.
Right. So showing all of those facets in that category doesn't necessarily mean it's going to give you all facets that exist. It's showing you all of the facets that it's returning from based off of however many pages or results that you've got that setting set to. So it's just not we're no longer giving you a smattering of facet results based off of however many that you've chosen to show. It's going to show all of those in that group. So
okay.
After that, I have I'm looking for the switch for this, and it is adding the carets. It's going to change the carets next to the category. So you'll notice that if I contract, it points to the right. If I expand, it points down. So that's what this section is doing, is it's changing it based on, it's looking at, what is the caret currently at, and it's going to change it when you change the viewability of that particular category. And I'm using Font Awesome fonts for these little icons.
That's awesome.
It's Font Awesome. And then below that, let's see here. Not sure exactly what I'm doing on this particular one. It looks like I'm cloning something, but I'm not sure what the purpose of that was.
Don't you hate it when you write something that's really awesome and it's really great, and then you don't remember why you did it or what it does?
Yes, I know it works. This line here, this is going to add the checkbox. So it's adding the square.
Okay.
So it is giving you a box that you can check, and if you check it, let's see here, a lot more trimming here. If you check it, this is where it turns it into a check mark. So it actually shows you the box with the check mark in it.
The X in it, okay.
Because it's not an actual checkbox. It's just an icon. Here's our trigger for triggering those checkboxes. When you check on a checkbox, you'll notice that it doesn't just put a check mark in there. Koha has to think about this and research based on what you're checking. And so it does a little spinner here. And this is font awesome as well. So it does, you know, while it's searching until that page is reloaded, that spinner is set into motion. So I use a font awesome called FA Spin, but you can, or excuse me, FA Spinner is the name of the actual font that's being used. But one thing that I had learned in this process was that you can actually tell Font Awesome to spin that icon.
Cool.
So you can, I think you can do this with practically any icon. It doesn't have to be necessarily a spinner icon.
I can see the potential for really messing with people with that.
Yes. Why are these icons all spinning on the screen? And let's see here. And then this just changes a class. This changes the class from the square to the spinner, or from a checked square to the spinner. So I've got that for each. So depending on if it's an empty checkbox or if it's a checkbox, it will change the spinner. It'll automatically reset itself to whatever it's supposed to set once the page has refreshed. So that's pretty much it for that. The opaque side is pretty much identical. As I pointed out, there's one little glitch I'm seeing, and that's the carrots that are not showing up. And hopefully by the time we post this, I'll have that fixed in the library. I'll figure out why those carrots aren't showing.
And that's because you wrote this on a different version than the demo site is.
Yeah, things change. So
it's probably not working since you upgraded your system either.
That's a good question. I can look at mine. That's wrong. Let's see here. Catalog. There we go. Let's do. Nope, not working on mine either. Anyway,
yeah.
So that'll be something that I'll see if I can tweak by the time this video gets out. But that's it for my facet enhancements. And this is a short training today.
Yeah, I like it. I like the compactness that it brings, because if you do look up something, I think we have our facets set to build off of the first probably 40 records. And so sometimes that list can just get really long and be incredibly overwhelming.
Yeah, you can see how long our home libraries alone gets. And you got your authors, location.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if we just left this expanded.
Yeah, it's going to be longer in some cases than the results, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, quite a bit.
But that really cleans up the page and makes it a lot friendlier. Cool.
Yeah, I think one of the aspects of this too is when you do check something, it's going to go through and
it lets you know that it's working.
It looks and it tells you, it keeps the section expanded that has something checked in it. So in there somewhere, I have it making sure that if something is selected, it's going to keep that open so you can see that you have something selected. So it won't just keep it compact and you don't have to go through there and find where you have your selected facets.
Cool.
So, well,
Well, thanks for sharing that. That's really, I can see a lot of good uses for this. So
Yeah. This wasn't the planned training for today, but I'm hoping, I've got a little tweaking to do on another one, but I'm hoping to bring that in the near future. Really cool for suspended holds listing. You've seen a preview of it, and hopefully I can get the kinks worked out of that.
yeah, it looks really cool too. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you do with that. So,
Yeah.
thanks a lot.
Yeah, well, we'll catch you again in a couple weeks.
See you then.
All right.